What is really great with thruuu and the content brief generator is that you can create different layout for your content brief. Let me show you, for instance, this one. So the target keyword is what is SEO, and you can see that the content brief, so this is basically the public brief that you can share with your writer, is quite simple. You have one element listing the guidelines and some example. Then you have the search intent. Here you have some meta information like the title, the description, the slug, the suggested word count, and finally the outline, including the heading structure. I can show you another template. Here is even simpler. Basically, you just have the outline. So you can share that with your writer, just an outline, and here you go. You can start creating the content. Or maybe you want to create more advanced templates, and here you can see a really comprehensive content brief. Again, you can find goals and directives, followed by title, description, slug, suggested word count, the outline, and more elements like the topics to include in the content, as well as the most frequent questions, related searches, and some SERP analysis, key metrics about the SERP, about the target keyword, the list of competitor, basically the SERP here, top title, and as well some content to read for your writer. So you can see with thruuu you can really achieve this flexibility and create any kind of template for your brief. And the goal will be to have different templates, one template per project, one template per client or more, and then you can be really, let's say, flexible using the right template based on your client, project, or type of content. And you might notice that in a template or in a brief, there is different elements. And I will show you basically how you can create now a template and define what kind of elements you would like to see in your content brief. So let's go to the interface of thruuu and open the menu content brief and then click on my brief templates. So here we'll see your list of templates, and let's create a new one. So on the left, you will see a list of elements, and these are all the elements that you can include in a content brief. It's quite straightforward. You just have to take one and drag it here. Okay, so let's have an overview of the main elements. So the first one is writer directive. Use this element to give some directive to your writer, like some notes. You can provide some, let's say, guidelines. And also what's great with this element is that you can enter a default text. So here I have some default text. I will just copy paste the guidelines. And basically each time you will create a brief using this template, it will display the default text. So you create once this default text inside the template, and every time you use the same template, your brief will have the default text. So it's quite great. So you can save a lot of time. You don't have to rewrite all the time the same thing. Then you have different elements, audience as well. You can define a default audience or leave it empty, and you can enter it later on when you create your brief. Then the region, the search intent. Then let's move on. The next element will be the article summary. So here basically is where you will be able to enter the meta information like the title, description, slug, target word count, and so on. Here you cannot enter any default text. Obviously, it makes no sense to have a default title. The outline, this is a key element. Obviously, you will be able to create your outline with the outline editor of thruuu and pick headings from your competitor, generate also some with the help of AI. These are for me the three most important elements. I recommend to have at least these three elements in a template. You could basically stop here, save your template, and here you go. You have already a good content brief template that you can use later on. But let's move on and add all the elements. Frequent questions. So this one will automatically fetch the people also ask an on-page question from your competitor, and it will be displayed in the brief. Top topic, it will do the same, more or less. It will extract the most frequent terms used by your competitor and display them in the brief. Also, you will be able to add new topics, either by picking them based on the most frequent one, or by just adding your own terms and informing your writer to include them in the final copy. Then you have the SERP insights. So here is some metrics about the SERP, like word on average, page rank, images, last update. Top titles, you will display the title and the headings of the top 10. Competitor analysis will basically display here the list of competitors from the top 10, their page rank, the number of words, images. Related searches displays related searches that are displayed on Google. Top cited sources as well. Here it will analyze your competitor and extract the most frequent links used by your competitor and display them here. Food for thought is another element that will also extract the frequent links used by your competitor together with the top article to read. Links, here is an element that you can use if you want to display the internal and external linking to use in your copy. Competitor outline, here you will be able to select again some competitors and you can display directly their outline or table of content inside the brief. And free text is basically a free text. You can do anything with this one. But before moving to the free text, as you can see, you can only add once all of these elements, but the free text you can add as many you like. So basically free text can be a placeholder to maybe add some information, like, I don't know, let's say I want to speak about my company. So I can here put the label, company description, and then put a description about my company. So you can use this free text to do anything, as I said, displaying your some company information, speaking about your persona, your target audience, just providing more information to your writer so you understand how to use the content brief. I mean, just use it how you like. You can do anything with the free text, and as I said, you can add more than one. Also, what you can do here, you can drag and drop the elements. You can collapse the view, so it will be easier to move elements around. So here now we have, let's say, a very, very complete template. Let's just remove some elements because we don't want all of them. So I will delete this. I will delete that. The free text, I will move it up. I will move it just after the writer directive. Then I will remove this, this, and this, and this. Okay, so now I have like writer directive, free text that will display my company information. Then I will have the article summaries, then I will have the outlines, and I will have the frequent questions, the top topics, SERP insights, and finally the competitor analysis. So this will be a quite comprehensive brief. So now I can save it. I will put a name, super brief template. Okay, I save it, and here you go. Your brief is saved. So if you go back to your list of templates, you can see it's here. What you can do as well, you can duplicate it. You can set it as default. So when you will create a brief, it will be the first one in your list. You can also delete it. And now when you create a brief, when you go on the brief, what is SEO? You select your SERP. And here you can see, you can select the template now. And the one we created is first, but you can still access the other one. So let's quickly create a brief. I won't detail how to create a brief in this video. There is other video that detail the content brief creation process in more detail. I just wanted to quickly show you that now we have all the elements we selected, and also the default text is displayed here. Also the company information, you see. So we have all the elements that we wanted to have in our brief. And every time you will create a new content brief with this template, you'll have the default text and the same element. And now here you go. You just need to start creating your content brief and provide a lot of information to your writer to create great content. And I invite you to click on the next video if you want to learn more about how to create a content brief.